Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, I guess. It's great to be at my second Big Ten Media Day. Certainly feels a lot different than a year ago at this time. Certainly we don't need to wear name tags any longer, so that's a positive. Representing University of Washington is a tremendous honor. This is a place with championship traditions, elite academics, and certainly one of the most passionate fan bases in all of the country. We spent a lot of time trying to build our culture over the past 16, 18 months. And I think we've gotten really close to getting the team that we're looking for to compete with year in and year out for championships here in the Big Ten. We talk a lot culturally about respect and accountability, integrity, selflessness, and enthusiasm. We believe that we are a very disciplined team. We believe in mental and physical toughness. And really what it all comes down to for us is that be a pro mentality. And that be a pro philosophy is the foundation in everything we do, preparing, practicing, and competing in a way that we instill an NFL mentality in our program. It's one of the things that we'll constantly address, constantly talk about with our players is how to act like a professional in everything you do, whether that's on or off the field, whether you become an NFL player or not. But we have a really good football team this year and a really good coaching staff. And I'm excited, first of all, to mention the new position coaches that we have, but also the coaches that have stayed with us for a long time. We have 8 position coaches that have now been with me for 4 or 5 years, both at the last spot and here. We have a strength staff, a player development staff, a personnel staff, and a nutrition staff that have all traveled with us and have been with us now between 4 and 5 years. But we've also hired a new defensive coordinator this year in Ryan Walters. I think he's probably one of, if not the best defensive coordinator in the country. And I think to have him with us with his elite schematics, as well as his personality and his ability to connect with players is a huge win for the University of Washington. Coach Walters transformed Illinois' defense from number 97 in the nation to number 1 in his 2 years there, and from number 114 in total defense to number 2 in his 2 years there. We've also hired a new special teams coordinator in Chris Petrilli. Excited that Coach Petrilli is with us, and really for the first time in my career, other than in the NFL, to have 2 people designated strictly to coach special teams in this conference, I think is critical to the success of our program. I was able to promote Jimmy Doherty from quarterback coach and pass game coordinator to our offensive coordinator. And Jimmy's been with me for 7 years, 1 year at Michigan, 1 year at UCLA, 3 at Arizona, now 2 at Washington. And this is his second stint at Washington. So it's great to have Jimmy with us, working together with me and the rest of our offensive staff as we formulate our game plans. We've also added Taylor Mays and Brian Odom, 2 coaches that everyone's very familiar with. Taylor Mays, obviously one of the greatest players that played at SC, that is from Seattle, and then Brian Odom, who was a linebacker coach most recently at Oklahoma and SC. College football continues to transition, and I will start with saying I appreciate my wife for all of her patience during these transitions. We are constantly in a change and figuring out how to handle so many different parts of the football world, recruiting world, NIL world, and the calendar is a moving target. And Amber has been an unbelievable help and partner in the success of our program, as have my daughters. I also want to thank Pat Chun and Aaron O'Connell, who have made sure that while we're transitioning from the Pac to the Big Ten and now going into our second year, that we are competing at the highest level, whether that be through staff size, staff compensation, staff retention, player development, player rosters, and player compensation. We're investing in our players at the university through revenue share, through community NIL engagement, and it's a weekly topic that Aaron and Pat hit with me and have been extremely supportive in our quest to be at the top of the Big Ten. And also want to welcome a new president. President Jones is coming from University of Illinois, and we can't wait to have him as a part of our program as well. I'm incredibly proud of the players who've stepped up since we've arrived here in January. In 2024, we entered the season with 21 new starters. This season, we're entering with 11 returning starters. We've also entered the season a year ago with an offensive line that never played together, and yet we still produced a 1,000-yard rusher. We entered coming off of a national championship run, and yet we're still able to find a way with one returning starter to make it back to a bowl. But as I look at the team that we have currently, I'm so proud of the guys that are here. We lost one starter in the transfer portal and replaced him with a starter from a team that I coached prior. The rest of our team either has moved on through graduation or are back. And that's a huge credit to the culture of our assistant coaches and our program. I want to start and talk a little bit about the guys that we brought here today. Damon Williams, our quarterback, is an amazing young man. He's 19 years old, just turned 19 in March. And last year, as a true freshman, he completed 79% of his passes, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. Started our bowl game where he had 4 touchdown passes and a touchdown run. And he's really just as special of a football player. He's an incredible individual, which I hope you guys will learn about later on. Jonah Coleman, the running back that I brought today, has been with me for 4 years. And he is a very special person in our lives. My wife and I, my girls, consider him part of our family. He's had incredible success last year as a Big Ten runner, had over 1,000 yards, had 10 touchdowns, and in our first year in the conference, earned all Big Ten honors. He's the first running back at the University of Washington since 1976 to rush for over 100 or more yards in his Husky debut. Jonah's going to be a fantastic pro. Also extremely proud of Jonah with a 3.91 cumulative GPA. He will be our nominee for the William Campbell Award of the Academic Heisman. And then the third guy that I brought, another player since our that it was been with me for 4 years, part of our recruiting class of 2022 back in Tucson, Ephesians Prysock. He has started every game for us since he was a true freshman. He, along with Jonah, was a part of that class that produced NFL first-rounders and second-rounders, and the long physical corner that Efi is. I'm extremely proud and excited to see what he'll do in the future. And then finally, I just want to mention a couple players that I didn't bring that I'm really proud of. Denzel Boston, in his first year starting for the University of Washington, had 9 touchdowns in the Big Ten. Takario Davis joining us after having an elite year in the Pac-12 and also in the Big 12. Excited to have Takario with us. We're going to need all that talent, and we're going to need all that staff leadership this season because we know we are playing in the best conference in the country with the toughest schedule in the country. We have an incredible home field advantage. We are riding a 20-game winning streak, and we're excited for our home opener against Colorado State. We head to Pullman week 4 to regain the Apple Cup, and then we come back and we host Ohio State. For the second year in a row, we host the defending national champion on our soil. We get to head to Michigan, head to Wisconsin, and really begin what is incredible Big Ten play where we play 9 games in a row. And then we end with our fiercest rival in Oregon, where we know we have to play a lot better than we did a year ago. Joining the Big Ten in 2020-24, the best conference in college football, we understand we have a weekly grind of games, not just the ones I mentioned. For the last 2 seasons, our conference showed its strength and dominance with back-to-back national champions. 3 out of the last 4 teams that participated in national championship games were from the Big Ten: the University of Washington, the University of Michigan, and Ohio State. And the fourth team, Notre Dame, is also a school in the Midwest. 2 years ago, the University of Washington competed in that game. Last year, Ohio State competed against Notre Dame, and we are extremely proud of being able to compete for national championships. It's also the best conference academically. No conference compares to the research institutions that fills our 18-team conference. And that's why I think it's so important that we let the school year be the school year and let the portal be the portal after the school year is over. On the football field, I don't think you prepare any better for the NFL than playing in our conference. Every week, you have to travel, just like the NFL. It is not a regional league. It's a national league, just like the National Football Conference. And I would tell you that as we go, it's why it's so imperative that we need to have 4 automatic bids, a 9-game schedule in the Big Ten Conference. We can't leave it up to chance with a 5 and 11 combo. The team of 2025 reflects the values of the University of Washington, but it also reflects the words of my former boss at New England: no days off. We are going to make sure that everything we do it at the highest level, we do it every day, and we compete for championships and make University of Washington proud. I appreciate it. I'll open up for any questions you have.
All right, we have one question for Coach.
Jedd, Sam King from the Journal and Courier. You mentioned Ryan Walters, who the last 2 years has been a head coach. How much added value is there when you get a coordinator who has that head coaching experience, results aside, just to kind of understand what you're going through running a program?
Yeah, I went back and I looked at the last couple of years of teams that have won championships, and I looked at last year's 4 playoff teams, and all 4 of those playoff teams had a former head coach on the staff. And when you look at when Coach Franklin brought in Tom Allen, when you look at with Coach Sarkisian having Kyle Flood, when you look at Coach Day having Chip Kelly, when you have Coach Freeman having Coach Golden, who I worked for at Miami, there's a great value there of having former head coaches. And for me, it was one of the most critical things we could do.
Coach Fisch, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.